Welcome to a Mayanot moment. Rabbi Zalman was a simple Yid. He was a Parshat Yid, a guy who wasn't educated, he hadn't been to yeshiva, could barely read a pasuk of Chumash. But he was very sincere, he loved Hashem and he loved to daven. And one time he was davening with sweetness, he was davening barichos at great length, and somebody looked at him and they made a nasty comment. Thought, here's a guy, he barely knows anything, and he thinks he's davening like a great tzaddik. And they made a comment that he's not more than the piyata fun mispalo. He's not a davener, he's not praying to Hashem, he's like the heel of someone who's davening to Hashem. Now, Mordechai of Bebroisk, one of the famous Chassidim of the early years of Chabad, he heard this comment and he became very serious. And he said, you think that the heel of a person who's davening to Hashem, if the heel is davening, you think that's not something significant? The Mishnah itself says, Akiva ben Mahalal el Omer, La'olam yistakal al shloshet devarim be'enet habal l'dei aveira. Akiva ben Mahalal says, Akiva, the heel, ben, belonging to, Mahalal kel, one who praises Hashem, one who's davening to Hashem, teaches us that if you look at three things, you'll never come to sin. And who teaches us that? The heel of someone who's davening to Hashem. That when even the heel, when even the lowest, the seemingly most insignificant part of a person is permeated with love of Hashem, with awe, with reverence, with appreciation for the beauty and the profundity of Ein Sof, that's what teaches the lesson which will keep us from ever sinning. Now, this drasha, the Frierdiker Rebbe once mentioned when he was on a trip to Chicago, and it caused a little bit of a stir, because the local Rabbonim, who were a little bit conservative, they felt, why does this rabbi, this Hasidic rabbi, comes all the way to Chicago, and instead of teaching us real, significant ideas in Torah, he entertains us with these, these word games, Akiva ben Mahalal el Omer. And when the Rebbe heard this comment, the Rebbe wrote a letter. And in the letter, the Rebbe documented all of the sources of this drasha. That it wasn't just a haphazard wordplay. All of these ideas were rooted in the Medrash, were rooted in the Gemara, that you can interpret the names of the Tanoim, the names of the Amoraim and their parents and so on. And this particular drasha, that Akiva ben Mahalalel is the heel of one who davens to Hashem, and the significance of what it means that the heel is permeated with that love and with that prayer, that's actually rooted in the words of the Arizal. Now what all of this teaches us is that the most insignificant details, as we learn in the beginning of this week's Parsha, mitzvahs she'adam dash ba'kavav, things which people generally trample all over and don't even pay attention to. It's specifically those things that when they are utilized to express truth and beauty of godliness, that's what brings about the greatest, the most deepest and profound revelation of godliness in the world. And that's why Parshat Eikev tishma'un, when we listen to those things, those details which are insignificant and all of the time overlooked, and we realize the depth of Ein Sof that's present there, that's when Mashiach is going to come in Yirtzeh Hashem. Have a good Shabbos.